What up? I'm Josh Paulson, and welcome to Your Story Now. Today we're going to ask the question, what are characters? So in order to develop a definition for characters, we are going to start by looking more closely at our definition for story. So if a story is something that happens, we can draw a lot more out of it than simply breaking it down. So we know that whenever we have a story, we can understand it by processing one of two things. Either its creation or its impact. So for example, if you have a wedding, you can understand that a wedding happened through its creation or through its impact. Creation, wedding planning, development. Impact, two people are married now. Or as another example, you could say an earthquake. Well, it's plate shifting, which I don't really know how all that works, but plate shifting is the creation. And then the impact is seen very clearly above with perhaps chaos, or perhaps it's more mild. I'd like to imagine it's more mild, but it's usually not when we talk about it. Or Bob falls in love with Susie. How did that start? How was that created? How did he fall in love with her? Or alternatively, what was the impact? Like, did they date? Did they get married? So on and so forth. And so you can understand a story by looking at either its creation or its impact. And so you can understand a story by looking at either its creation or its impact. Now, moving along with that definition, we have the question, what creates or are impacted by stories? When we talk about a wedding, who creates a wedding? What creates a wedding? Well, likely a young couple. So couples, people interested in getting married, or other people who are interested in those two people getting married. What about an earthquake? Well, we have these things, we have plates. Impacted could be people, buildings, scenery, environments. And then when we're talking about Bob and Susie falling in love, well, Bob kind of creates the falling in love, and Susie can be impacted, and so can Bob be. So what creates or are impacted by stories? Characters. And we're defining character as a thing. Yes, it can be the couple who are going to a wedding, but it can also be the plates in the earth shifting, or the buildings. And the reason why we stick to this definition for character, a thing, is really about mindsets. And you'll see over time, all of these definitions are about mindsets. We so often talk about character development, and we consider that and those concepts only in relationship to people or to anthropomorphic beings, when in reality, environments develop, cities develop, cultures develop, plates under the earth develop. Everything in your story develops. So by looking at character as a thing, this sets us up for success in developing our story's world very early on.